Title: The Lantern of Mercy. In a small desert village cradled by golden dunes and swaying date palms lived a boy named Yusuf. At 12 years old, his bright eyes sparkled with curiosity and his heart brimmed with kindness, though his patience often frayed like a threadbare rope. The villagers loved his spirit, but rarely paid him much mind, leaving Yusuf feeling like a shadow in a bustling world. One dusty afternoon, as the sun dipped low and painted the sky with streaks of orange, Yusuf slipped into his grandfather's attic to avoid his chores. Amid the clutter of worn rugs and chipped clay pots, he spotted a tarnished brass lantern, its surface etched with swirling patterns that seemed to dance in the dim light. Drawn to it, he brushed off the dust and struck a match. As the wick caught flame, a warm golden glow spilled into the room, not just from the fire, but from a shimmering figure rising from the light. It was a djinn, its form a blend of smoke and stardust, its voice steady and deep. "I am a wanderer of centuries," the djinn said, "a collector of stories from those who show mercy and patience. Light this lantern with good deeds, and I will share a tale for each one. When its glow reaches its peak, you'll see its true purpose." Yusuf's heart raced. He nodded eagerly, and the lantern became his secret companion, its faint flicker a whisper of promise. The next morning, his first challenge arose. Omar, a gruff merchant, stood cursing by the village edge, his cart tilted with a broken wheel. When Yusuf offered help, Omar snapped, "Move along, boy. You're no use to me." Yusuf's temper flared, but the djinn's words echoed in his mind. Swallowing his frustration, he fetched a spare wheel from the blacksmith and helped Omar repair the cart. The merchant, surprised, mumbled a grudging thanks. That night, the lantern glowed a little brighter, and the djinn appeared. It told Yusuf of a shepherd who once risked a storm to save a rival's lost flock, earning a friend instead of an enemy. "Mercy turns bitterness to bonds," the djinn said. Days later, Yusuf faced another test. A weary traveler, cloaked in tattered robes, slumped by the well, too weak to draw water. Yusuf had just baked a small loaf of bread, his only meal for the day, but the man's hollow eyes stirred something in him. He handed over the bread and hauled up a bucket of water. The traveler's grateful smile warmed Yusuf more than the meal ever could. That night the lantern's light grew stronger, and the djinn shared a tale of a poor farmer who gave his last seeds to a starving stranger, only to find his fields blooming the next season. "Kindness plants what selfishness cannot," it said. The final trial came unexpectedly. Yusuf's little sister, Amina, knocked over a jar of ink, ruining the book of stories he'd spent months writing. Anger surged, but as Amina's eyes welled with tears, Yusuf took a deep breath. He hugged her and said, "We'll make a new one together." The lantern flared brightly that night, and the djinn told of a child who forgave a bully, turning a foe into a companion. "Patience heals what haste breaks," it concluded. The village soon buzzed with talk of Yusuf's deeds. When a dispute erupted between two neighbors over a stray goat, they turned to him. Drawing on the djinn's tales, Yusuf suggested they share the goat's milk and wool, a solution that left both smiling. As the crowd cheered, the lantern blazed like a tiny sun. The djinn appeared one last time. "This light was never mine," it said. "It grew from your heart. Mercy and patience light the world." With that, it faded, leaving the lantern dark, but Yusuf's spirit aglow. From then on, Yusuf carried no lantern, but his actions shone brighter than ever, a quiet guide for his village. Moral of the story: small acts of mercy and patience can light up the world, transforming not just others, but ourselves.